Howdy, partner.
Hello! Thank you for joining us, folks. Howdy, Gremlin. Thank you for joining us. I saw you followed off while I was offline the other night. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Howdy, Frog. Thank you for joining us.
We do love frogs.
We do love frogs around here. It's a bit of a special stream tonight. We have my good friend Zoe, my favorite Canadian, on the stream. That's me. I'm Frost. True. Some kind of video game is going to be on screen, of some description.
That is about the most I can promise you.
Literally true. But yeah, we have Zoe here because she has been working on a tower defense game for the last little while. You've been sort of ideating on this for a hot minute, haven't you?
Yeah, so I started it in May of last year, and I worked really hard for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I put it away, and I picked it back up in like December of last year, and I worked really hard on it for 2 or 3 weeks, and I put it away.
Yeah. And
then May of this year, I picked it up a third time, and this time's for real.
Yeah. Are you just making it straight in Python? I thought you were talking about making it into Godot for a little while.
So my plan is, because I have the general concept of you're carving runes into rune plates to do tower defense things. Yes. But so much was just like in my head of like, how the hell is this gonna work?
Right.
I want to really put the system through the ringer.
Yes.
And to do that, I wanted to work in an environment that I was like super familiar with.
Sure.
So I'm doing this. I'm calling it a game design prototype in Python.
Yes.
For a rapid iteration. And then when it gets to a point that I'm really happy with it, or it crunches too much and I need to put it in a real game engine,
Sure.
then I will put it in a real game engine.
Understood.
Most
Okay.
likely Godot.
Sure. So yeah, we're gonna start off as we normally do with our warm-up puzzles. I don't believe you've been around to do the warm-up puzzles, have you?
I've poked my head in chat, of course, but I've
Gotcha.
not been on voice to do the warm-up puzzles.
Well, yeah, okay, gotcha. That's more what I meant of just like being bearing witness to the things that we do.
Yes, from what I recall, they're the kind of puzzle I'm bad at.
Yeah.
I see. I set my thing up, but I'm facing to the right and not the left.
I can always mirror you.
That works. Or you could put me on like the left side of the screen if that's an option.
If you'd prefer.
And then I like that. And then we're both kind of looking.
Yeah.
It's like a podcast setup.
Yeah. Okay. Frog, you are at least in my top 5 Canadians. But Zoe is very special to me.
Oh, cool. We go way back.
Yes.
We've known each other since pre-COVID.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. All right. Ooh, we have a 2-word answer here today.
Oh my.
Rallies to move around a court, imperative. What kind of who talks like this?
Howdy, partner.
Howdy, Saturn.
Hello.
Rallies to move around a court, imperative. So
Yeah, I don't have high hopes I'm going to be very helpful with this.
Yeah, it's some pretty galaxy brain wordplay bullshit. My best guess for a 2-word or a definition for a 2-word answer is rallies to move. So we're looking for a 2-word phrase, presumably, that means to provoke something to locomote.
Get over. Get move.
Get move.
I always say this in the grocery store. People are chatting in the middle of the aisles. Get move.
Around a court, imperative. It could also be imperative. If something is imperative, that means it's what? Very important? Stant.
I guess so. Imperative as in, like, a thing you must do,
Yeah,
is my
it's
understanding.
necessary. Copy pasta and EU umlaut, yes. Oh, I should, real quick before I forget, I should link your Blue Sky and then pin
Oh, yeah.
that.
At some point, I'm going to make a blue sky for the game, but
Gotcha.
I feel like we're still a good, like, 2 or 3 years out from launching any actual marketing.
Right, yeah.
Except for, you know, art zine submissions.
Sure, yeah. Although I do love the art zine submissions.
Thank you. I worked very hard on them. But by all means, you can just link my personal blue sky, because that is, of course,
Yes.
Where all the updates will go until there's a proper marketing push.
All right, I have pinned that message.
Yeah, excellent. I've been getting ahead of myself a little and looking up all sorts of stuff on like
That's fair.
how to market a game. And right now, it seems like the best thing to do is just post like 3 clips a day on TikTok, where like I added this feature to my game,
Right,
and
yeah.
it broke everything, and then you
Yeah.
go through a little mini narrative.
I multiplied everything in my game by 1,000, and here's what happened. All right. Rallies to move around a court, imperative. So around definitely gives me the idea of like we have some word for a court, and then we are putting some other letters on either side of it.
Hmm. So like, yeah. Court. A field. A zone.
Imperative.
So I remember learning this a little bit before. What does the purple mean?
The purple is just what I have selected. That's...
Oh, okay. I see. Never mind. I don't know anything.
Essentially, so to break it down, we have a definition, we have wordplay, and then we have indicators. So an indicator would be something like around, where you are, trying to, or like the word initially, where it's like the first letter of a word.
I see.
3 dumb 5 this. It's hard. It is definitely.
Saturn points out in chat that around could mean moving the letters around as a sort of anagram.
To move around a court. That's 6 letters. We need 7. So that's weird. Getting shoved in Locker's core game. True. It's like the scene of The Simpsons that I was reminded of recently, where Lisa goes to her rich, smart friend's house, and they're like, we play a game where we rearrange the letters of notable celebrities to make phrases that accurately represent them.
I feel like one person did that a lot in like 2002, and then the list was just shared around the internet for the next 2 decades. Like, I bet if I Google a list of celebrity anagram names, Bill Clinton will be on it.
Yeah. That sounds right. For need. Rallies to move around a court also makes me think about tennis.
Rallies are a tennis term, aren't they?
As is court.
Well, yes.
The joke, which chat cannot see, is that I opened Dark Souls 2 after saying that. It's one of the 3 video games you play.
Yeah, it was Dark Souls and Dark Souls 3.
No.
No?
She is very, not strictly a Dark Souls 2 girly, but she is... don't you have like 250 hours in Dark Souls 2 or something?
Wow. I feel like Dark Souls is a little like Dragon Age.
Almost 300, yeah.
In that the game number 2 in the series of the first 3 is kind of the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
But it has a non-trivial amount of extremely ardent defenders.
Yes. You're looking at one of them. Still think you move around the letters in court or a court, and the definition is imperative, but maybe something to do with courting someone? Maybe.
Love is a tennis term.
Oh, God. We're falling down the tennis hole. I'm going to give us a definition.
Tennis truthers in chat, raise your hand.
Our definition is a court imperative.
A court, like a legal ruling?
Yeah. Huh.
Okay. Tennis truthers, stand down. This isn't our time.
A court imperative. Something you're told to do in a court. Something that you need to do in a court.
Or my head went to an imperative declared by a court, like a warrant or a summons.
Also possible. Fool's Rise. Oh my god. If you move around the letters in rallies, you get all rise.
Aha!
Thank you, Saturn.
Excellent work. Very good. Teamwork. I was useless. I led you astray at every turn.
I really think we're onto something with this tennis thing, though.
Well, what if it's an order established trump card? Okay, this one I feel like I'm a little better at.
Yeah, these ones are... Oh, shoot! We played this one too late last night. We started too late last night, so today's is...
Oh.
We didn't do this one, though. Okay. From Pixie to Shoulder. Shoulder? Soldier.
Remove a Greek letter from Pixie to get something sweet.
Pie.
Pie.
Yeah.
Well, don't remove pie. Remove she.
Yes.
Yes. Animal that makes a pie. That's humans.
Pie is the god of desserts.
Bottom and top of a pie crust.
Yeah, yes. One layer below the crust is the mantle? Yep.
I believe that is true.
Mantle.
Planet that is mantle. That's a tricky one. I'm sure there's one out there.
Yeah. A Mickey Mantle! Yankee Mickey Mantle.
I have no idea what that sequence of sounds means.
Mickey Mantle was a baseball player for the New York Yankees.
I see. Mickey is the god of Disney.
True.
Oh, probably partner of Mickey is Minnie.
Yes.
Animal that makes a Minnie. Well, that's pretty much all mammals.
True. There aren't many mammals that make perfect copies of themselves out of nothing.
Or larger versions.
Rotate one letter in Minnie 180 degrees to get a bear. That is Winnie.
Ah.
From one Disney character to another.
Very nice.
Animal that makes a Winnie is a haunts? No, that's not right.
Animal
sounds like Winnie.
Yes.
How do you want that? Okay, yeah, there you go.
I see.
Horse is the god of
transportation.
True.
Planet that is horse.
A vegetable that is neither horse nor radish. Horseradish.
That's very good.
Change one letter of radish to a bigram to get a word that describes many a radish. Reddish. Mars is reddish. Mars is the god of war. And one who participates in a war is a soldier.
Very nice. Bring it home.
We've done it. Horse is the god of transportation.
For much of history, at least.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I really hope this runs on your machine.
I've opened it. It does run.
All right. That's a strong start.
Yes.
So to speak.
And I have managed to get it to display. Yes.
Behold.
It is visible on stream.
Yes.
I do believe that it is immediately going.
Yes. There is a pause button. It's the P key, but by default, it just goes.
Right. Okay, there is no way for me to enlarge the window.
No, unfortunately not.
Yes.
It is. Every pixel is drawn precisely mathematically. I cannot make it any bigger or smaller.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Let me. Should I pull up the instructions?
Quite likely, yes.
Okay.
Well, the instructions have not been updated for 0.2, so they don't have the newest emblems, and
Okay.
they don't have the newest description of the battlefield.
Okay.
But they'll largely cover your bases.
I'll at least read the introduction. You are Luxira Verdansky, and you have discovered a strange device in an ancient ruin / the family vault. Story still being written, I don't know, on which you see the screen this game is played on. The enemies are actually little packets of energy, which is harvested when they are killed. You want to find a configuration of this device that harvests the most energy possible per minute. You can change the enemy stats at the top of the screen using the scroll bars, as well as how often they spawn. The combination of their stats feeds a formula that determines how much energy / how many points they are worth. Objective currently in this build of the game is to get as high a score as possible in any or all of the 3 rune configurations currently implemented. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we have...
So you can access the 3 rune configurations with the 1, 2, and 3 keys, but don't press them too quickly in sequence, or you will crash the game.
Very good. Okay. Right side of the screen is the rune editor, which is a close-up view of a rune plate or simply rune. From here, you can carve or uncarve shapes into the rune, which can have various effects as expounded upon in the next sections. Carve from a core to the edge of the screen, and it will form a circuit, along which magical energy called packets can travel. We'll expand on this in a future section. Okay, so...
It's a long instructions.
Sure, yeah. I did certainly see that. I didn't think I was going to read the whole thing here and now. So... Are these this teal square and the... Oh, I'm not showing my cursor. That is important. Properties Nope, I am capturing my cursor. It's just not visible. Oh, I'd have to focus the window first. Okay, got it. Okay, so this teal square at the top, is that where the enemies are coming from?
Hold on. So, yes, the teal square on the left is where the enemies come from.
Yeah.
And the yellow square is where they leave.
Yes. And the idea is that I want to quote unquote kill them before they get to the yellow square.
Yes.
As is par for the course for a tower defense game.
Yes.
All right.
All the classics.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So on the left side of the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should pull up the thing and start taking notes. This is valuable playtesting.
Yeah. On the left side of the screen is the battlefield, which shows the progression of enemies from top to bottom. It also shows the obelisks, represented visually by zoomed out versions of the rune plate they have equipped. That'll be these 2. No, those are towers.
Now, I've just realized very inconveniently that I've given you an English build of the game.
Oh, so yeah.
All the keywords are the English words.
Yes.
It's not generally in English, it's just English.
Right.
But the keywords, like for emblems, filigree, yada yada.
Yes.
Those are all in English.
The instructions are all in English.
Are in English. But I'm here, so I will help you through.
Yes.
And I have been sort of
obelisks and towers
are
the same thing.
Yes.
This is and tower.
Honestly,
I just noticed.
That English replacement probably makes it easier for most people to understand.
Was and tower intentional, or was that an artifact from Find Replacing?
So I run all the in-game text through an Englishization function at runtime. So somewhere in the code, it's written an obelisk, and then it is switched to an tower. But I have a little bool I can swap so that I can still have it be an obelisk.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
For context, for people watching who may not know what English is, this is something that I enjoy quite a bit about the vibes of this game that I have seen thus far. Obviously, I haven't played it yet, but from the 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 lore drops in the zine Buddies Quarterly, which I also recommend checking out on Tumblr. I think that's linked somewhere on Zoe's Blue Sky, but
and I'll post a link right now.
yeah, go for it. But yeah, so English is the idea of a version of English that only uses Anglo-Saxon roots, and therefore you get rid of all of the, Latin in particular roots, and you just use words that are derived from those Anglo-Saxon roots, Germanic, Norse. And it sounds very funny. But like it's just similar enough to understand, and yet it's, famously, as famously as something involving something like this could be, a book was written in an attempt to describe the atom, and it was called Becleftish Unholdings, or is that right?
Uncleftish Beholdings.
Uncleftish Beholdings, yes. So uncleftish being, things that are unable to be separated, and beholdings being like observations on the building blocks of life that are unable to be separated, therefore the atom. It's very intriguing if you are an etymology nerd like myself. But yes, as we were talking about nerd, it's true. As we were talking about before we went live, the idea is that this is taking place explain it to me how you explained it to me.
And taking place in the far, far future, in society where, of course, languages have far evolved, and the language being spoken by the protagonist has English as sort of one of its linguistic ancestors, but it has many other linguistic ancestors, and so to sort of replicate this, the character can read it because she knows all the English words.
Yes.
But it's a bit, it's all English.
Yes.
It's none of the other languages. So I'm doing the Tolkien-esque thing of translating the fictional world for the benefit of the viewers.
Okay, so you can carve while you have this pause, thankfully.
Yes. Although many things won't update until you unpause.
Sure, yeah, of course.
I suggest having it unpaused while you're doing things. The main reason I added a pause was just so you can mouse over enemies and packets and read the tooltips.
Right, got it. This is an enemy. Stop it from getting to the bottom of the screen.
I think I edited that in the latest dev build. Because of course the exit is not always at the bottom of the screen anymore.
Sure, yeah. And these will be meters for those, respectively?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. The green bar is the health, and the silver and black bar is the armor.
Gotcha. Okay.
Or the warding.
Warding,
in English.
Yes. Left click to access the rune editor and reconfigure it. Oh, so you need to. Okay. Oh, what? Oh my goodness. Okay. There's a lot here.
There's a lot. If you want to start from a clean slate, which you may well want to, if you hit backspace, it will remove all the carvings from a rune.
Okay.
And just leave the cores.
I will do so. Okay. So actually I probably want to select this one to start. Since that's the closest. So when packets go along a circuit and reach the top of the screen, they enter the obelisk's pool. The pool does have a limited size. Magic above the maximum will leak out without effect. Okay, so we want to get energy from these cores to the top of the screen.
Yes.
With efficiency and regularity, not just like dumping it all because it will overload and just spill out.
Yes. Although the maximum is currently 10 packets worth of energy.
Okay.
So you don't really have to worry about that unless you're doing weird stuff.
Sure. Okay. Let's see. Each core is a color corresponding to the aspect of packet it releases and is surrounded by white core out tiles, which output packets onto nearby circuits. The power of the packets a core outputs is divided by the number of circuits it outputs to, so you're always getting the same amount of power out of a core no matter how many connections it has. So if you have one core that is split onto two, then each packet that comes out of it will be half as powerful?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Circuits decide the direction based on a sort of electrical differential potential.
I'm reworking the algorithm right now. Not because I don't like the results of the algorithm. I do think it is quite elegant.
Yeah.
It's just that it costs so much computational power to determine, and it has to rerun it every single time you change any tiles just in case.
Gotcha.
So right now that's kind of it stops anyone from doing anything too complicated, or else the game starts to chug.
Right.
But I have a good sort of simplified algorithm I'm working on. So
the big O is not ideal.
Exactly. Exactly. Fortunately, I have written an honors thesis and a master's thesis about crunching that big O number down. So I'm the right woman for the job in this case.
I took some computer science classes. Can you tell?
That's true. A lot of this game is inspired by computing, obviously.
You're right, yeah, obviously.
Like the circuit.
All right.
My suggestion for just the general way of going about this game is to just let the game run and just fiddle around, and then once you've come up with something you're happy with, then you can start a fresh 3-minute wave, which is what determines your score. Yeah, just noodle around. One feature I do want to get is, why is that blue?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Every once in a while, it just makes a blue.
I'll note that down. I suspect it's not properly clearing the emblems. I'll have to look into that. I was running into some of those problems earlier, but they were a lot more subtle than single blue pixels.
Right. Okay, so are these... Okay, so once all of these packets have reached the top is when it does an attack.
It's the white packet specifically triggers an attack.
Oh, interesting.
And yes, I can see that there are some, because you can see it's firing at 3 of the enemies. It's not supposed to do that.
Ah, okay. This is what playtesting is.
It is what playtesting's for. I think I know how you can clear it. If you make an emblem frame, it should reset its understanding of what the current emblems are. This is described further down in the instructions text.
Like so? Is that an emblem frame?
Yes, that is an emblem frame.
Okay, cool.
So now if we watch it fire... it only fired at 1. Perfect.
And if I take that away, will it?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you take it away, it should still be fixed.
Cool.
A lot of the stuff it does, it just reruns the detection stuff over and over again.
Sure.
So it has like shortcuts in the detection. So for the emblem frame, it looks for emblem frame corners, and if it doesn't find at least 4 of those, it just quits. But then I think the part where it resets the current emblem list is farther down than that.
Gotcha. Okay.
I can probably fix that right now in my dev build, but anyway, it shouldn't be too obtrusive.
Sure. Just straighten that out. Okay, so let's see what we're looking at here. So, what is, so I read that the color corresponds to the aspect.
Yes, and you can think of the aspect as sort of your elemental ability or like
Okay.
standard tower defense power.
Gotcha. Okay.
So right now there's poison, slowing, direct damage, armor piercing, and armor shearing. I had some more originally. I had something with criticals, but I think I want the game to be completely deterministic.
Sure.
So I don't want any random
That's
chance elements.
Understandable.
So I took out the criticals. And then there was another one I was experimenting with earlier, which is sort of the nascent version of the like make enemies stronger to get more points system, where every rune had a special core called a supercharge, which didn't have its power split with how many like circuits it connected to, and would just be a flat multiplier on the power of all your stuff. But the more supercharges you drew, the fewer points you got.
Gotcha.
But it ended up being a little inelegant.
Okay, so the red is breaking?
Breaking is the English for damage.
Oh, fair enough. And then the pink is warding. Okay, so it's armor breaking.
Yes.
Armor piercing, if you will.
Shearing and piercing are different. Piercing is only on the current shot. Shearing is permanent.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. So it's armor reduction.
Exactly.
Okay. So we have damage, armor reduction, and then activation that causes the thing to shoot.
Yes.
Which it only shoots if it has a target. Well, I mean, never mind. It does release the energy regardless.
Yes. Currently, when the activation packet reaches, it just fizzles a shot if there's no enemy.
Yes.
I'm probably going to change that later. I had that originally in when all the towers effectively had infinite range.
Sure.
But so anyway, that's not in yet.
Okay. Okay. So blue is slowing. That definitely seems important.
The math on the slowing is a little weird right now, because there is like a hard cap. You can't completely freeze an enemy in place.
Sure.
But I think slowing is in a pretty strong state currently.
Gotcha.
Poison is maybe a little weaker. I still want to rework poison, because right now poison, like, if you put a certain amount of poison onto something, it will just eventually take all that damage. It's just a flat amount of damage spread out over time.
Sure.
I want to have some interactions, so you can like I don't know how, but like increase the poison intensity so it ticks down faster, or increase the poison duration so that if you put a lot of poison on something, it can get applied multiple times and stack in mathematically interesting ways.
Sure.
But right now it's just a flat damage over time. But yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously, just sending these all out is like the bare minimum of what you can do.
Yes.
What is there any significance to this one gray square?
One gray square? Oh, that is where an additional obelisk would be if the configuration had 4 obelisks in it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So currently, no.
Okay. So we're looking at we needed to look at ways of enhancing these with filigrees and emblems.
Yes.
In addition to forming circuits, cuts into the rune can have additional effects as emblems or filigrees. Filigrees are effects that take effect at specific locations where they connect to the circuit. They must be a specific shape, and they must only connect to a circuit in one location, unlike circuits which connect ordinally. Filigrees connect diagonally as well. Okay.
Filigrees connect diagonally to themselves. Still connect ordinally to circuits.
Okay, I see. Emblems are rune-wide effects and must be carded inside emblem frames. An unrecognized filigree or emblem will be bright yellow, but when identified as a valid shape, they will change color.
Yes. Currently, the only emblems that I have in the instructions text are the targeting ones.
Mm-hmm.
But all the fancy new ones that I put in the Discord are active.
Okay.
So you can use those. And those are Chain Lightning, Aura, Sniper, Gatling, and is there another one? Battery. Yes, of course, they all have different English names.
Sure, yeah. Give it a stretch real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. A gate stops packets from moving past it until an amount of power is equal to its level. So we have one more. Maybe. Okay, so this will wait until it has 2 power, and then it will got it. And then if I make it longer, then it'll wait until it has 3 power.
Yes. And you can also stack 2 gates, one on each side of a circuit, and they will add up.
Okay, interesting.
I'm thinking I'll probably rework gates, maybe be like a Fibonacci sequence. So instead of like 1, 2, 3, it's maybe like 2, 3, 5. Give you a little more. Yeah. Currently 3 is the biggest gate. So that 4 gate you have is not recognized. Originally, I did want the filigrees to be a little more.
Reactive. The in the instructions, the is this 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, the 3 gate that you have drawn in the instructions is 4.
Oh, whoops. So it is. Yep. That's playtesting, baby.
So this is a 1 gate.
Yes.
Okay. So they're all off by 1, actually.
Well, yeah. It's not the total width, it's the width up to the, like, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that design is sort of a relic of earlier, and I may come back to this later, but I wanted the filigrees to not just be, like, one specific shape that does one specific thing.
Sure.
But rather, like, their shape affects the extent to which they take their effects. So you can make them longer to make them more powerful.
Sure, yeah.
But that's the kind of like really in-depth interactive system that might take more computation power than I can afford without a proper game engine.
So...
But I'll still salt it in here and there.
Droppers act similar to gates in that packets that reach them are stopped. Maybe. However, instead of passing through after reaching a certain power level, they instead split the packet into 0.2 power mini packets, which are released every... Have I done something wrong?
No. So if you look really closely, so the brightness of a packet corresponds to its power.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So I see. So it's sort of smearing it.
Yeah, that's a good way to think of it.
Interesting.
I'm not actually sure what a good use for droppers is. I guess they're good with purifiers, which you'll get to later.
Sure. Okay. Got timers. Interesting.
The important to note for timers, the default release speed for packets is every 4 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Although that can be changed by some of the new emblems.
Am I looking at that right? Some of the emojis that you've used in the instructions text have turned into Unicode, and like it'll have a line that like mixes them.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
It works on my machine.
Here, I'll get a quick screenshot of what that looks like so you can see it. It's like some of them are just a Unicode square and the others are the square emoji.
You should open it in Notepad.
This is Notepad.
That's Notepad?
Windows 11.
Oh, fucking Windows 11. do you have a Notepad-ier notepad that isn't gonna do that?
I could download Notepad++.
That'd probably do it. Great. Now I gotta account for Windows 11 in my in my design.
This is what playtesting is for.
Yes, it is. Anyway, I will screenshot the timers on my notepad and send them to you.
Okay.
And then I'll send the next ones as well, just for your reference.
Gotcha.
Also, there are hotkeys
Yes.
for some of these, which are not well documented at all.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of get the hang of it.
As I was dragging the Notepad++ file across my desktop, it was acting like it wanted to like move the file into the game, and I'm like, I don't know that there's that functionality. Like it gave the cursor icon of like, you know, when you can drag a file into a program.
Yeah, I mean, it can, in a way, read text files.
Sure.
The runes on the battlefield are stored as sort of ASCII shapes.
That would be really funny if you could just drag in a TXT file.
Yeah, maybe in a future build. Princess, whatever. How the fuck did Microsoft fuck up Notepad?
Yeah.
I ask myself these questions every day.
It's a program that reads letters and nothing else.
How hard could it be?
How hard could it possibly be? Okay. Notepad++ has been opened. And mesh is an interesting shape. I'm just scrolling through now.
I'm not sure what I'm trying to represent with that one.
So you do bing bong. No. Bing.
The hotkey for enmesh is U, if that's helpful. So the way the hotkeys work is you need to have the selector, which is the little red square, on a filigree tile, which is adjacent to one circuit tile, and that tells it what direction to draw in.
What the... Brain, please. Okay, so there's two. These are the middle.
You can also hit the G key to bring up a grid if that helps with the drawing. Also, keep in mind that it's the left side of the ASCII art that needs to connect to the grid.
Is that consistent across... Well, no, it isn't.
It is.
Oh. Really?
It's just they rotate. You can
Oh,
rotate.
okay.
So
I see. I
the
see.
gates are symmetrical, but the enmesh is not.
Yes, I had not considered this. Okay, so what I want. That makes sense considering that that's like a point.
Yes.
That's why it was acting like I was drawing a path.
Yes.
It kind of looks like a skull.
Yeah, maybe. I'm probably going to rework the shape of the mesh. It's not intuitive in the way that some of the other ones are.
Hmm.
There you go.
Gives 2 empowerments per aspect beyond one that is present in the packet. So if there are 2 aspects, it gives 2, and if there are 3, it gives 4.
Yes.
Okay.
So where you have it here, it's not doing anything.
Right. Yeah.
And an empowerment, which I think I have written down there, but for the benefit of the viewers, an empowerment is sort of a little, I don't know what a good term is, but it applies to a packet and just multiplies its power by 5% compounding. And so right now it doesn't do anything else, but I'm planning on later having like runes and filigree that have stuff like if a packet has exactly 3 empowerments, do this or whatever.
So these aren't useful on activation bundles.
No, not especially. Because the activation packet is the only one where the power doesn't really affect what it does.
Right.
It's more of a binary signal. Highly advise using the hotkeys for empower runes since they're a little cumbersome.
Sure. What was the hotkey for empower?
Empower is E.
E. Fair enough. Hey.
There you go. Excellent.
All right.
I'm for the viewers at home. I don't have a direct video feed. I'm just watching the stream on mute.
Yes. So
my
I could
reaction-
probably give you a video feed.
Wouldn't go amiss.
There we go.
Excellent.
Okay, so purifier. When a mixed packet passes by or stops on a purifier, all of its aspects are converted into whichever aspect of that packet has the most power. Okay. Okay, so you can combine packets from different cores.
Yes.
And
if 2 packets, essentially if they touch, they combine.
Gotcha. Okay. I think it makes a little more sense to play with over here. So let's say I want to really actually let me hold on. Let's say I really want to use slow, but I'm not too crazy about wanting to use the poison here. If I understand correctly, I can move these together, and obviously, you know, these will fire off at different rates. They'll fire at the same time, but they will, obviously this is closer and therefore it reaches first.
Yes.
But what I can do is put a is it a 2?
It needs to be bigger. That's a 1.
Yes. So now that is a packet that is both slowing and poison.
Yes. Or toxic, as we say in English.
Toxic, yes. Toxic feels like it should be Latin.
I know, but let me just double check it real quick. I'm pretty sure I checked all these.
Sure.
Oh shit, it is Latin. There's so many words.
My Latin senses were tingling.
I should have figured. Anyway.
Poison definitely sounds like a French word.
It's just such a fun medieval word.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll swap that out.
Is venom? Is venom valid?
Ooh, good question. Arguably, it's not technically venom.
Sure.
Venom is from the Latin venenum.
Fair enough.
Which means poison.
Fair enough. Okay, so if we were to resume this, what happens if I do a 3? So then it's going to it's going to oscillate.
Going to alternate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every other one that it puts out is going to be 1 too slow, 1 poison, and then 1 that's 2 poison, 1 slow.
Yes. That reminds me, I want to add another filigree that's sort of an oscillation gate. So you can put it at a 2-way intersection, and then each subsequent packet, instead of splitting, will go one way or the other.
Sure.
Alternating. I'm going to write that down.
So currently, if I put a purifier on this, it's just doing the same thing it was already doing, but with extra steps.
Yes. Your average poison and slow over time will not be changed.
Yes. I am wondering if there is a way to... Do I want to slow down the poison? Is that what I'm going for? What does Magnify do? Only to pure packets, okay.
Right now, I think Magnify is a little overpowered just because it's kind of really easy to have pure packets.
Sure, because they come straight out of the tap.
Exactly. I may change it so that, like, when a Magnify magnifies 1 packet, it's like attuned to that aspect for a certain amount of time. But anyway, for right now, they're very useful.
So if I pause, you hold 2 enlightenments.
Enlightenments.
Enlightenments, excuse me.
Yes, which are English for empowerments.
Yes. So, if I allow you to go, so we have... So this packet is now... seemingly... Okay, so that's just... I don't know that I understand enlightenments.
So... Essentially I'm not sure I understand enlightenment. But my understanding, because I programmed this like 4 days ago, which is a long time, is that when a merger happens, the enlightenments are calculated into the whatever currently has them, and then the sort of technical enlightenment count on the new packet is just the largest of all the ones that made it up.
Okay.
I should double check. Hold on. I think I'm going to need to rework this a little bit.
In my head, I was thinking that I would empower this or magnify the slow, and then I would mix it with the poison, and then because the ensuing packet would have more slow than poison, then I could purify it, and it would be a more powerful
Oh,
slow. But I don't think that that's what's happening here.
it should. It should work. I think the real issue might just be that it's double counting enlightenment power because of the mergers, which is a little bad for balance, but it shouldn't actually ruin your merger logic.
Sure.
However, you will need to shorten your gate by 1 because it's still waiting for them to get to 3.
I see.
There we go. So now each packet should have a slightly higher slow than it does poison.
Okay, so purifier, and that becomes a slow power 2 with 0 enlightenments.
Yes, that is.
Enlightenments, excuse me. I keep saying enlightenments. Almost like it's a word or something.
Almost like it is. And enlightenments almost isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, enlightenments I kinda tack them on. So they're not really enmeshed with a lot of systems fully. So I'm gonna note that down as a known issue.
Yeah. But I do have the thing that I was trying to do.
Yes. That's the important part.
Yes. Can I just... If I just put another one of these on the other side, does it just do that but more?
It should.
Sort of really the space is the only limiting factor there, though.
Yes. That is the main sort of balancing idea, at least for this stage of the game, is that space is your main limit.
Because I assume that if I put this up here, it becomes invalid. Yes.
Yes. The shape detection is sort of finicky.
Yes.
In that way. I believe the hotkey for magnify is U.
U. Okay.
No, it's I. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's U. Okay.
And they're probably easier to place using hotkeys if you put on the grid, which you can get if you press the G key.
Oh, yes. Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of visually noisy to me in a way that my brain doesn't like.
That is fair. I had many requests for a grid, so
I am now realizing that I am filling this thing up with magic without shooting any of it off.
Yes. Well, the wave ended anyway.
Yeah.
You finished with a score of -367.
Oh man. What's the lowest score you can possibly get? Is that it?
Oh god. No, if you just maxed out all the enemy stats and minimized the respawn time, that would give you, and then had none of the obelisks do anything. That would give you the minimum score, which, you know what? I've got a copy running right here. I'm just going to do that right now.
Yeah, go for it. I'm curious.
Assuming the game can handle having all those enemies on screen.
Right. Okay, well, we've got... Okay. Let's set something up down here, and then we'll run it, and we'll see. Is this the in the upper right? Is this the new wave button?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Well. Oh.
So this rune you're looking at here, I'm pretty sure all those cores are damaged.
Yes, they're all damaged.
Oh.
I'm curious about, you mentioned Gatling.
Yes. Let me pull up the math here, just because I don't have it written down in a super convenient location. Yes, so Gatling makes packets spawn twice as fast,
Okay.
but at time of firing, their power is reduced by 25%.
Okay.
So that's sort of what I've gone for with all the new sort of upgrade emblems, is that on net they're a positive, but there are still trade-offs.
Sure.
And right now this is not true for the chain lightning. You can stack as many of those as you want, but for the Gatling, the sniper, the aura damage, and the battery, you can only have the effects of one.
Sure.
So they don't stack. And not one of them, but one of each.
Sure.
So you could put all four on something if you want, and that would kind of supercharge it, but take up a ton of space.
Sure. You can put multiple emblems in the same frame, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, these are all targets.
It has a fun little tip, which may be useful if you're making a really big frame. You can use the sides of emblem frames as circuits. Just so long as you don't interrupt their corners.
Sure. Okay. That is interesting.
I gotta ask the audience because the audience is really quiet. How are you feeling this? Is this boring the hell out of you?
I'm intrigued, but
well, that's the important thing.
Yeah. I'm just happy to be here.
I'm also happy to be here. Make sure you save this VOD, because if this game sells 1 million copies...
Yes. I'm getting it on the ground floor.
Document. Exactly. You will be the ArcanoArchaeology brackets working title streamer.
It's true. All right. So where is the Gatling? Yes. Okay. So that's a 5x5 checkerboard, pretty much.
Yes. Just gotta make sure you checkerboard it correctly.
Yes.
Oh yeah. The corners are checked, I guess, is what you gotta remember.
Okay. So if I
sort of the image I'm evoking there is just something completely riddled with bullet holes.
Yeah. I get the vibe. So this is going to be a shape that is 9 by 9, at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I don't have it happening in my examples, but emblems can touch the edges of the frame, but they can't touch the corners.
Okay, gotcha. So I could stick it like down here. I want it to sort of be in the midpoint between these two, if possible. Does that work? Oh no, there's an odd number. God damn it.
Yeah, I kind of freehand placed all the cores, so
that's fair.
If they're inconvenient, unfortunate.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, but you need to not disrupt the corners, of course.
Yes.
So
you may need to extrude it slightly to sort of leave the circuit. Yeah, just like that.
Make a little devil man.
Also, there is an issue with emblem frame detection when it's touching the edge of the rune, so you may need to move it up by 1.
Just move the frame up 1?
Yeah, because the frame is not currently detecting. But if you move the bottom up by 1, then it should. There you go. Yeah. So when it gets a darker orange, you can tell it's detecting properly. Still working on that. Known issue. Oh, I think your gat's a bit too big. It's a 5x5.
You're so I was. Well, what does this do?
I think it's detecting multiple gat. Oh god,
Is this 4 Gatlings in the size of like 1.5?
that might be. Yeah, I think it is. Now again, it only counts whether there is a Gatling or none. So this isn't actually giving you hopped up in-game effects.
Damn.
But I'm gonna note that down. And honestly, maybe I'll keep that in because it is pretty cool. And I think in general you can reuse like carvings for different emblems if their shapes happen to overlap in a convenient way.
Yeah.
And I think that's fun. But I may change the Gatling just so that it doesn't tile so effectively.
Sure, yeah. So the Gatling is Boolean, but I can do a chain lightning and a Gatling.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So really, I only need this much.
Yes.
And then the lightning.
All the new ones are 5x5.
Gotcha.
And they can touch each other without any trouble.
Sure. No, okay. I'm trying to think if there's some clever way to...
If you move the gap over by 2, then you only need to redraw... Oh, there you go.
Just need more space, really. Which, of course, I have to move back up.
Emblem. Again, it can't go down. It won't work.
Hi, Lily! Thank you for joining us. I hope you're having a wonderful night.
Oh, it's Worm Chat, Lily.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Okay, so...
Been a hot minute, indeed.
How are you doing tonight, Lily?
Oh, all of yours. It is Outlaw Adam.
Hi, Adam!
222. Do I know? I don't know Adam.
Adam is from Bits' community. This is how I know Adam.
Wonderful.
So if I do that, and then I do bing, bong, bing, bong, bing, bong, bing, bong, bing, bong, bing. Okay, so it detects the... Oh, wait. Oh, okay. So there can't be a thing in here for the...
Yeah, essentially each detection, and I may change this if I decide to lean into overlapping emblem carvings, is a matter of both blanks and carvings in a square shape. So, yeah. So you're really close to making the chain lightning work.
Yes.
But it can't be stacked in that way. I like where your head's at, though. I'm writing that down.
Yes. What are you? Targeting key. Oh, hi. I see.
That's actually 2 targeting emblems right there. Unfortunately, it's high armor and low armor. So it may get a little confused. At some point, I may want to have it allow multiple targeting emblems for really specific targeting, and I could even combine them in some sort of Pareto optimality. I have no idea what's going on. But right now, it just picks sort of a random one.
That's fair, Adam. So what we're doing is we're playtesting Zoe's game. This is Zoe, my friend from the internet, from Canada, who is currently working on a tower defense game where you carve runes and you send packets of information, and we are playtesting it. So we'll go from an app. Yeah, I can understand that makes this doubly confusing. So this is not valid for chain lightning.
No. because the chain lightning, it needs the full like 5x5 square to be exactly what it is, which includes the blanks.
Sure. Okay.
But I really like this overlapping emblem idea.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking
my immediate thought of like, you know, when you're playing with space in this way is like, I need to overlap these as efficiently as possible.
exactly. So yes, I can probably even put this in the next build. I think it'd be really easy.
I am wondering.
Right now, each emblem is just defined as like an ASCII,
right,
a small ASCII symbol with blanks and carvings. So I can probably just put a wildcard in where it's recognized as valid no matter what that one happens to be.
Sure.
And then it can sort of be just the exterior shape.
Yes. This would also, I was trying to see if I could do a sniper, but obviously that's the same issue.
Yes.
What am I looking at here? What is this one? It's 3 dots on either side and then a line in the middle.
Yes, that's the aura attack.
Aura. Okay. Greatly restricts range, but attacks all enemies within the range. Okay.
There will have to be some limitations on the shapes, of course, because otherwise you could just make carve a block of yellow and have it be all the emblems.
Yeah, that's fair. Can you rotate emblems?
Currently you cannot, but I'm going to have to implement that if I go with the... Well, actually, some of the targeting emblems are just rotations of other emblems.
Sure, that's fair. Because I was looking at that and I was saying, well, what about this?
Ooh, that would be really nice. But that will work horizontally.
True.
In the current configuration, actually.
Yes. I just need to widen the corridors and add more lanes.
Embody the Los Angeles. Now, currently, I think if part of an emblem ends up getting used in a circuit, it is not recognized.
Sure.
I do want to change that as well. Even though I think actually carving an emblem which is also useful as a circuit would be quite difficult.
Yes.
But not impossible. But this is the kind of stuff that I want. I think actually your squeezing emblems together idea, it really embodies the vibe I'm going for in this game, where you feel like a mad wizard being like, do I dare combine these magical powers?
Do I need another?
That's really good. I'm gonna lean into that.
No. Yeah, I need another. Okay.
It will work. I think.
If it touches the edge? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just put in the last 3. Yeah, there you go. Very nice.
So this is a Gatling aura.
This is a Gatling aura.
Okay.
Excellent job.
Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and run this and see what the fuck happens.
Yeah, by all means.
Okay, so slowing is happening. Much slowing is happening. It seems like
the slow does decay over time.
Decays, okay.
Still fiddling with that formula.
Okay.
So the aura, it does make it attack everything in range, but it also reduces the power.
Yes.
And reduces the range significantly.
Sure. Which makes enough sense with the Gatling, I suppose.
Yes. Obviously, one of the many... All the numbers are incredibly imbalanced, so some of these runes are going to be, like, near useless. Because, like, most over the current tower / obelisk for a moment.
Okay.
So you can see the range there.
Oh, I understand.
So you may want to toss a sniper on that bad boy.
Yes, I will. Oh wait, I can probably make 2 frames here, huh? Oh, well,
you may just be better off extending the frame. But actually, it might work if you move the circuits over a little.
Yeah. Oh, but these are wanting to be here. Okay, yeah, so what I want to do is...
Yeah, actually you can they can keep riding the edges, and you can just cut out some of those middle circuits.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Well, this
I
is
do want a little
awkward.
more. Yeah. Yeah, I do want a little more inner. Oh, careful, careful. If the path gets too complex, it starts to chug.
Yeah.
I could see it slowing down a little there.
Mm.
Oh, well, Adam, you are a fellow Canadian. Where in Canada, may I ask? You can speak vaguely if you don't want to dox yourself.
Sure, yeah. RimWorld pathing.
I haven't played RimWorld.
Mm.
So yeah, now if you mouse over the range...
Yeah. It's got normal range again.
And it covers
Actually,
a good chunk of the
less.
path. Yes. So I bet you can get a ton of points with this build if you maybe decrease the health and increase the spawn time, or rather increase the spawn speed, decrease the spawn time. I would like in the future to have a way to just say, like, your last obelisk shot dealt X damage.
Sure.
That way you can really dial in your health numbers. But I don't have that yet.
Oh, the wave's over. Okay. Or no, it's just paused.
Well, yeah, it ended the last 3 minutes. I think...
Maybe a little less on the speed.
Maybe a little less. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, the slower the speed, the more they punch up. But of course, the fewer points they're worth.
Oh yeah, I have aura. Duh. Interesting.
Now we're cooking.
We're cooking. We're Gatling.
See, I knew this is the kind of game you would like.
It's funny because, like, I have very little experience with tower defense. Like, I haven't even played Bloons Tower Defense. Really?
And that's like the most normie tower defense.
Right, yeah. Like, I think the most tower defense I've done is there is a crossover with Dungeon Defenders in Terraria, and so there's a sort of tower defense mini game that you do if you're like defeating all the bosses and whatnot.
I see. Would you say that you're just sort of in general not drawn to tower defenses, or have you just happened to not have played many of them?
I would say that generally speaking, I think that tower defenses, I think they come off as a bit bland to me a lot of the time. Because
you feel like a lot of... Sorry, just go on.
Obviously, the focus for a lot of like tower defense games are just sort of like raw mechanical gameplay. Whereas I mean, I'm interested in sort of the role-playing aspects of a lot of games, and you know, I don't know. It's hard to say.
So sort of lacking in narrative.
Yeah, to an extent.
Yeah, I would certainly say I've played a lot of tower defenses. I've not encountered one with an engaging narrative.
Right.
And I've only encountered a handful that even try.
Yeah.
I would say Gemcraft tries, but it's all a little generic and out there and weird. Well, not even weird. It's a little interesting, but I don't know. It's never really grabbed me. I wonder if... All right, so your score total? 64-94. And I think there's a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I really only like cooked on the one obelisk, so
I think this is a let But anyway, I wonder if that's... I hadn't really thought about it. This game is Adventure Time Balloons game. Only tower defense I've ever tried that attempts some kind of narrative was the Adventure Time Balloons game, and I thought it sucked shit. The gameplay or the narrative?
Maybe both.
Also, I've never heard of that.
Both.
Both. Well.
You can't win them all, and sometimes you can't win any of them.
So true. I wonder to the extent to which that's sort of an underserved genre.
Yeah.
I'll expound on that in a minute. But
Yes.
Lily asked, missed a bit about the mechanics explanation. What do the circuit paths do exactly? So in the very broad strokes, there are the cores, which are the colorful squares surrounded by white. And there are the circuits, which take packets from those cores to the top of the screen, where they enter the obelisk pool and affect the next shot, essentially. And then along the way, various shapes affect the packets either in motion or at the time of shot, or at the time of spawn. So what we're seeing here now with the blue sort of line, that's a sniper, so it makes packets spawn more slowly, but deal more damage and have a much larger range. That sort of thing. Yeah. I didn't like its weird hero system, which of course is also in Balloons Tower Defense 6 and the worst part of the game, and I also didn't like the maps. I see. The packets are ammo and the runes juice them up. Yeah, it's a good way of thinking about it.
Yep. And then the white packets are sending the signal to fire.
Yes. I'm still not 100% certain if I want to leave that in or if I want some separate mechanic that determines firing. But for now, they're good.
Sure.
And I think they add a tiny bit of depth in that you can slice off part of an activation packet and run it through a purifier for a little extra juice. It's one of my favorite little tricks at this point in the game. But yes, I have not played Balloons Tower Defense 6. I played some of the earlier ones back before they got, I suppose, huge.
I played Balloons, which was a game about throwing darts at balloons, and it's a puzzle game.
To me, Balloons is bigger than Balloons Tower Defense, but
Right.
I feel like very few people would agree.
Sure, yeah.
But I'm a bit of a tower defense snob. If I were to recommend anything as very big air quotes required reading for this game, very big air quotes, it's not required at all. But I would suggest playing the Gemcraft games because it's a similar sort of systemic, system-based thing. And you play to merge the tower track side of things with the circuitry side, like enemies that can interact with packets or paths or stuff along that lines. But I do have some ideas of packets being able to move between obelisks, which would have some interaction with the sort of overworld view. I don't think that enemies would interact with it, short of the moment of firing, but that could always change. This is all very, very early on. Lily, you missed this bit, but essentially I'm making this game as like a design prototype where I can just try a bunch of stuff in Python because that's what I'm really good at. And then once I have the design nailed down, I'm going to remake it in like a proper game engine, which is why it's all programmer art right now. So yeah, but we're fiddling around, we're figuring things out.
Yeah.
But what was I saying? Right, I got pulled off on like 3 tangents, but I feel like circuitry side is very satisfying to watch. Thank you. I spent way too much time on the lighting system, and it's really computationally expensive, and I want to redo it. But for now, it's still very beautiful. But anyway, the thing I wanted to say is that I feel like I hadn't really thought about this before, but I feel like the kind of people who like a strong narrative in a game, and the kind of people who might enjoy a slightly unorthodox tower defense.
Sure.
I think there might be a good overlap there. because I part of my one of my design goals slash restrictions is that there's going to be absolutely nothing in this game that requires reflexes.
Sure.
You know, you can always either pause and work on stuff, or it may even end up you can just redo stuff as much as you want and keep your powers. I probably won't.
Sure.
Probably won't do that when I get to some of the more progression-based mechanics. But I want to make sure the game is never high reflexes, never twitchy.
The turquoise art goes crazy.
Thank you. I do really like the way it's turned out, just visually, even at this point. And I do have other ideas that, you know, I'm probably not even going to implement them in this prototype just because computation. But like when a packet passes past a filigree, it could glow a little, and when it fires, all the emblems could glow, that kind of thing. Just like I want you to feel the magic flowing as it gets used. You know, right now it's just the packets because that actually conveys sort of useful gameplay information.
Sure. I am noticing that I was looking briefly at the Discord for the playtest, and I'm noticing that in the builds and high scores, everyone has absolutely flooded their map with empowers, and I have like one.
Yes, that is something I'm working on, giving you more ways to use the space, but admittedly right now the best ways are either empower, magnify, or enmesh, depending on your situation. Honestly, I don't think empower is even that good compared to a properly used magnify or enmesh.
Sure.
It is built on Pygame, yes.
I mean, I suppose I could just throw some, well, maybe not. I ain't got enough space. Not here, anyway.
Yes. Right now, a big part of the game is just like... figuring out where to put stuff, which is not super engaging, and so I hope that my upcoming sort of selection copy-paste system will improve that part of the gameplay. And
you don't have to come out of... Yeah, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Shorten that path a little bit.
Yes, so I am also thinking that depending on how far I take this design prototype, I might release it as like a free demo on Steam.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
It'll be interesting to see.
Honestly, it could just be like itch.io, share the .exe freely with all your friends.
Sure, yeah.
We'll see where it ends up.
There could definitely be more happening with this top boy.
You could sort of
loop it around,
give it a whole route so that, you know, it all snakes around, gives it lots of space to hit the filigrees. Oh, Lily, let me invite you to my playtesting Discord, and you can download it for yourself.
So does enmeshing a basic damage do anything at all?
No.
Okay.
Enmeshing needs to be two different types of packets, at least.
Gotcha. Does magnifying do anything?
Magnifying, yes.
Okay.
Magnifying is probably your best bet here. It's like Empower, but only works on the pure runes. Or the pure packets.
Gotcha.
How do I create an invite? Here we go.
Yeah, wishful thinking. The Academy doesn't deserve to see any movie early, true.
I suppose if anyone in the chat here really wants to try it out, I'd be happy to invite you. Right now, I'm kind of in the. So originally, I was just showing all my friends
Yeah.
the playtesting, and I kind of wanted everyone to join because I work really hard. I don't want to show
Yeah.
off to all my friends.
Mhm.
But now I'm thinking, I'm not gonna push anyone. And I'm just gonna have my core base of alpha playtesters of people who were like really interested and jumped right on it, and then I can save all my other friends for later when I need another round of playtesting by people who haven't played the game before.
Sure. Yeah. Why?
So,
Why no work?
why? What? No work.
Is there a reason that this
Oh,
immediately becomes a path rather
so
than?
it's because it is connected to the core, so
Okay.
it sees that as a valid path starting location.
I see. Well, what if I? Well, no, that doesn't. God damn it. Okay, I can't put that there. No, they can't touch. God damn it.
If you move the whole thing down one, it should work.
Well, no. Move the whole thing? Like the emblem and
Not the
all?
whole thing. I just meant those 3 tiles to the left of the core. They don't have to come out of the
Oh,
center of the
duh.
core. They can come out of the corner.
Yes. No, you're right.
And then that shouldn't interfere. I think it's... Oh, the emblem frame is interfering with the shape detection. Now, if you move it one to the right,
Yes.
then it should finally work.
Okay.
In the final build of the game, all these things will be made far more intuitive.
Yes.
But this is just the design prototype, so I only need playtesters who can pretend that they're experts.
Yes.
Which is why it's not bad game design for me to always be over their shoulder telling them how it works.
Right. Okay. So, is there anything else I can shove in here? Obviously, there's a lot of work to be done on the other 2 obelisks, but I'm trying to like sort of optimize this space here.
Yes. I think I was gonna leave this till like way near the end, but I'm gonna move it up my timeline. I want to make like rune terrain, so like bits that are missing and you can't carve anything in,
Sure,
or
yeah.
like a crack down it, and if a path goes over a crack, then it loses power.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Just because, anything to make you need to make interesting decisions in how you shape the rune
For sure.
is like that's the gameplay.
Yeah.
It may still take lower just based on the way I've currently coded it.
Sure,
but
yeah.
as long as I make a little progress every day, that's the important thing.
So let's see. If let's say I put a Gatling here. Just like in the Yu-Gi-Oh episode where Dark Magician is given Christ symbolism.
Precisely.
If I put a Gatling here, what does the range look like?
I think Gatling does not change the range.
Oh, okay.
Just the spawn time and the power.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, it was Aura that changes the range.
Yes. What if terrain?
But Gatling does lower the
removed.
damage, which we don't care as much about damage, we just care about the slow.
Lily, that's not a bad idea. I do have ideas that I kind of want. It's complicated to fit into my larger design ethos, but something like that could certainly work in like a particular game mode. I've been going back and forth on what I actually want the main mode to look like, but increasingly as I dial in this just system/toy, I feel like the final game could have like several different modes. Could have like a roguelike mode, have a sort of point-based progression mode.
It kind of feels And I don't know if I'm
No,
crazy.
my aura.
I don't know if I'm crazy for thinking this, but like it kind of feels like uh just based on vibes alone, it kind of feels like orthogonal to I guess diagonal makes more sense, but orthogonal is the better word. Sort of feels diagonal in vibe to like Lemmings.
Lemmings.
Do you not know Lemmings?
I'm not especially familiar. Oh, I think I watched. Did I watch you play this, or did I watch Julia play this?
You definitely didn't watch me play it.
Okay, I feel like I watched someone, or maybe it was a sort of spiritual successor.
Right. The idea is that, you know, they keep spitting out these little guys and they have like, you know, they have different tasks that they can do to, you know, make the path forward for the rest of the little guys easier, and then the more little guys you get to the end, the better you do.
Yeah, I can see a certain thematic similarity there.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I could have like a healing packet, which, you know, this would be interesting because it wouldn't really have an effect on shot, but on traversal of some sort of rune terrain, it could negate its negative effects temporarily.
Germa do be playing
that would
games.
be really interesting. I'm gonna write that down. Negates.
Free knockoff of that from the Ubuntu package manager that was Tux the Penguin instead of Lemmings. Okay, so... Is it more valuable then to snake this around and fit more boys in? Maybe.
I feel like sneaking around is generally a strong move.
Okay, so...
to sort of maximize your space usage.
Gotta take this down as far as it can go. It's purified.
Ooh, actually, that gives me another really good idea. So I feel like a lot of the maybe minor annoyance in the game right now is when you're trying to squeeze every little bit of space out of it, and you've got to like push things right to the edge, and things don't quite fit. They're off by one. The corners are really annoying.
Yes.
So I feel like an interesting mechanic could be edge filigrees, or they probably act more like emblems. And essentially, it's just shapes you carve in the edges of the rune that have some effect. And that way, 1, the edges get used up. 2, I think it would look cool as fuck. And 3, additional vector to just put in neat magical effects.
Will that work? No.
I'll write that down.
Unless... No.
Could get a little annoying to program if I start getting weird rune shapes, but we'll see.
Is this not working because it's touching here?
Yes.
Okay.
It's because it's touching on the left. The touching on the right with the core shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
So if you just move if you just move that whole arrangement down by 1. Easy peasy.
Okay, so now we throw another boy. We throw a boy. And then, can I fit more boys in up here?
That's a great question.
I think I can. Oh, that's too long even.
Yeah. There you go. Boys all over the shop.
Boys all over the shop.
At this point, you may want to not purify out all the poison damage, because I'm not sure if this much slow is actually all that useful.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Damn.
I finish this circuit, and then you can deal with that. In fact, you could rejig the purifier and remove the slow entirely if you wanted.
Yeah.
flow is kind of a funny one because sometimes it's not that useful.
Mm-hmm.
My dad set things up so I had to launch Minecraft through the terminal when I was 10 to try to train me into a computer knower. Well, knowing what I know about Gen Z's computer skills, I feel like that was a noble goal.
Mm-hmm.
But did it work? Although it did work. Well, there you go. You're an honorary millennial.
Damn it. I can just move this down.
Won't it be nice when I have the big selection mechanics and you just pick something up and move it by one?
Yes, for sure.
Any day now. I'm probably try to get that out before I leave for my work travel in early June.
Gotcha.
But we'll see. I'm making a lot of progress, but right now my time is taken up by reworking the direction algorithm, and that is proving to be a real humdinger. Because that is like one of the first things I coded, and so one, I barely remember how I did it, and two, I didn't have a great intuitive sense of my whole like grid representation system.
Sure.
So it does a lot of weird stuff.
So we want... Well, shit.
Does this mean I get to calling my pets for a baby's pass? That one's up to you.
So we want this to... I think we can do this. We need this to be... magnified at least once before it hits the purify. So I think we could do that.
I'll say that.
And then they're even. So we want one more.
Okay. I'll say the droppers are really useful for getting purifiers to do what you want. Because the mergers are calculated on each tick of motion. Hold on. Is it just me, or does that seem to be spawning even more than... Because with the Gatling, it should be 1 every 2 seconds. Or, wait.
Yep.
No, that is... Okay.
No, that's right. It's just, you're seeing both of them fall into the same...
Yes. I was a little worried that...
Actually, wait, I need to...
Somehow the Gatlings on each rune were both taking effect.
Right. So now it's a poison boy.
Yes. Excellent.
Okay. So we've got some things going on here. Is there anything else I can stuff in here?
I feel like if you change the path a little bit, you could squeeze one more magnifier on the left.
Probably. Well, I can definitely squeeze one in, at least just like right here, but...
Oh yeah, that works too.
I wonder if I could squeeze 2 in.
Ooh, maybe.
It might be a little too narrow. So let's see what going out. This is a power 2 with 16 enlightenments.
Yes. So let me pull up my calculator. So that is a power of roughly 4.4.
Okay. And then let's show this above. This is just... There's no reason for me to be doing this. This was just me fiddling around with the things.
Yeah. earlier on in development, I had the armor work so that it blocked like a specific amount of damage.
Sure.
So you would want big damage packets, but that was really hard to balance. So I made it work like Heroes of the Storm. So it's just a percentage block.
Okay. Wonder how long after launch Borderlands 4 will be available for its actual price of $15. I imagine it will take approximately 15 years, unfortunately.
Honestly, $15 is too much to pay for a Borderlands game anyway. I'm just a hater though, that's just me.
How much time do I have in Borderlands 2?
I played a bit of Borderlands 2 with my
39
friends
hours.
a
I never
long
beat
time
it,
ago.
but
I have 20 hours. That's more than it deserved.
Sarah does enjoy the Borderlands games, yes.
I really don't care for the
sense of humor.
Well, the sense of humor is certainly not my favorite, but I don't really like the sort of Diablo-like games where you just get a bunch of gear that has bigger numbers on it.
Yeah. Number go up.
Number go up. I mean, I like when number go up, but nothing can recapture classic WoW, where when you get a weapon upgrade, like you can feel it, like ooh, it's so juicy.
Everybody needs
everyone does
game.
need their own number go up game. It's true. It's true.
Okay, so I want to does poison damage go past armor?
It does.
Okay. Makes sense. I would like to take away the armor if I can. So I would probably want to focus on this this pink boy.
I would just go to Niagara Falls, Ontario. So true.
Very good.
Very, very good.
It was on sale for $5 within a year of launch. I mean, Warner Brothers needs the money, though. They're in dire straits right now. Apparently. Good. I'm saying. Fuck them.
So true. All right, I am going to take a quick break to use the bathroom, take my evening meds while you sort this out.
Yes.
I'll be back in a little bit.
Okay. They released Sinners in theaters, and I saw it. They can step down now. True. Okay, so what do I want to do here? If I do one of these, this is a valid frame? No. Is it a valid frame if I go swoopy? No. Okay. Oh, because these are occupied. Yeah, of course. Okay. Well. I should probably be targeting high armor. Probably get this as low down as I can, and then it's a 5er. And then this is targets high armor. So I want to target anything that has high armor. And then I want to combine these, but I want to empower the... I need to take Dio to see Sinners. Warner Brothers, hold on just a little longer. So true. What was the hotkey for? Empower. Or is it magnify? I forget the words a little bit. Bink? Yes. Magnify. So I want that. And then you can come here. That's fine. Actually, I could probably... Can I fit one more in here? Yes, I can. I can fit a couple, actually, if I do it smarter. Is this all valid? Yes. Excellent. Okay. So yeah, now we want to purify. P is not the P is not the hotkey for purify. P is pause. Dingus. Okay. R. Okay, so you do just barely have enough space for that. What song is this? This is Amaryllis by Jacuzzi Jefferson from my Chill Hop playlist. I should have the Spotify on, shouldn't I?
Okay, I'm back.
Shrink that down a little bit so it's not taking up the... Welcome back. I'm trying to do something similar here to what I have with the... Oh, shoot. Or actually, I can just... Well... No. Damn it. Okay, I can just move this up one. That's fine. Yeah, I'm trying to do something similar where I just turn these all into armor.
Shearing.
Shearing. Thank you.
Yes. I think that's a solid strategy. Combines well with the aura attack at the bottom of the screen.
Get as much armor off of these as possible. So you are breaking. No, that's just damage.
Yes.
Armor shear. Okay, let me follow this armor shear and see what happens. Okay, so it's just oscillating. It might be because the path is so much shorter for this. Maybe if I make those a little closer. I take this out and I move it around here. Maybe that'll help.
Well, that will certainly help because now it's releasing a ton of small packets.
Oh, yeah.
Although, what you may want to do is move the purifier up so that the purifier and the gate are on the same circuit tile. And that way, as the sort of cloud of damage comes in, they can each be incorporated into the armor shearing one at a time.
Am I able to do a timer down or a gate down here? Over that?
No.
No, okay. Suppose I may as well throw another magnify in here. All right, so now this is That's breaking. But then this is also what is happening?
Pause when there's a packet between. Yeah, right there.
Okay, so the breaking is still. Oh, because each individual tiny packet is getting a buff.
Yeah, that's not right. I'm writing that down. In fact, that's similar to the issue I saw earlier.
Okay, well, I should just be able to maybe pull this down and around.
Yeah, I think I think the main issue is it's sort of an inconsistency
Damn it.
in whether an enlightenment represents a power increase that has already happened, or represents a power increase that is to be done later in the code.
Sure.
So something for the next build.
Maybe I should count grid squares to just make sure that these are roughly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. Oh, actually, I can pull that in some. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Okay, so like so. And then I gotta find somewhere else to put that emblem. Can I squeeze it in here? I mean, I can just pull this out. That's not smart. I guess I could. Do one of those. All good children go to Hein. Now, this won't work, will it?
What will work?
If I put those two together?
Yeah. I think that will work.
Oh, it will. Okay.
Emblem detection is sort of square-based, but filigree detection is a little more intelligent.
Gotcha. Okay.
I had to do that because the filigrees, of course, have to rotate and stuff.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
They need to determine where they're connected to. So, yeah. I actually didn't notice that you can kind of tile. Well, yeah. But I kind of like that.
Yeah. Now, I can't help but notice that this is still just breaking.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
I have no idea. You may just need to have it do the purification before it does any empowerments. Just using like a dropper, or even just having 2 or 3 circuits connected to the damage tile.
If I do 1 empowerment on each one, shouldn't that work?
Hopefully that won't break it. Dear God.
So I start them each off with an empower. So they're even.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, at this point, yeah, since they're even, it's kind of random. Or it may just pick whichever one has a lower index in the code, which is damage.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Well,
just put a dropper at the top of that damage one and see what happens.
Okay. Let me remind myself what the
and remove the gate that comes before.
What does a dropper look like?
It's a zigzag.
Right. Okay, so put a dropper where you said?
Yeah, like pretty much right there. And of course you can move these around later on, but just to sort of get it conceptually. And then remove the gate that's touching the bottom of the screen.
Okay.
And now, if I understand things correctly, this will get you your armor shearing packets. And if this doesn't work, I'm calling the police.
Okay, so we've got one coming through. Hello. This is still breaking.
Okay, clearly something's gone wrong.
You look very cute.
I just got validation.
I'm gonna have to investigate this.
He happened to be in the hallway. It was like, holy shit. The hallway. And it was like, holy shit. And he had his flashlight on. And he was like, wait. He's like, holy shit. And then he like fist bumped me and was like, early 2000s fucking goth. And everything. And I'm like, that's
I like the, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. Definitely post a picture of the meat.
I'll try to get a good
Yeah,
one.
that's very strange.
I feel good and simultaneously like but yeah. Lipstick is sticky.
Yeah. That's why it's called stick.
Oh no, it's not.
It sticks to your lips.
Well, yeah. No, it's because it's in a stick.
Purely coincidence.
Okay, that's all. That's all
Okay.
I wanted.
All right, so I had an idea, but it's not working as intended.
Yeah.
So now what do we do?
This is a considerable glitch. It won't be optimal, but I think just try to put no purifiers before, or no magnifiers or empowerments before the purifier.
Oh yeah, that's very unoptimal.
I mean, you can, yeah,
Do it earlier
maybe,
if we can fit it in.
honestly, I'd say take them all out right now and just run it right now and see if it works.
Okay,
And if it doesn't work, I'm going to be real confused.
then you'll call the police.
Yes, exactly.
So this one should be our first. Well,
Oh, I see what's happening. So actually, here's what I want you to do.
okay.
Literally just break the circuit and then remake it. I think they're getting trapped
Gotcha.
in the gate.
Mhm.
A little leftover energy. So that should clear it out. And we'll see how this does.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Please work. Please work. Aha. There we go. Okay.
Excellent.
I think that was a sort of enduring problem. But the packet was just small enough that it was hard to see it glowing.
Right.
So now, theoretically, if you put the magnifiers back on, it should still work. But yeah, definitely start with the magnifier on the armor shear.
Yes.
Still need to look into that, though.
Okay, are we consistently coming through still? Oh, you're a bad boy.
More problems?
If I just do it again, what happens?
Ooh, you know what? I bet
Should I not be powering this out of the gate?
I think the empowerments are interacting strangely with the dropper.
Mm,
So maybe instead of the dropper, just have a few circuit tiles connected to the damage rune, and then it will split it itself.
Gotcha. Yeah. So like 3 here. Well, no.
Yeah, because I think the issue is that the way the dropper works, it creates mini packets of a specific size, and it's not interacting with the empowerment in a friendly, nice way.
Sure. All right. So if we break and then start again. That is our armor shear.
Theoretically, this should work. Woohoo!
Okay, cool.
Okay. Oh, time to stand up and stretch your limbs.
Yes, true. Yeah.
I'll do a little stretching too. I'm getting old.
Yep.
Let's stay limber. It's been a very productive playtest for finding bugs.
Yeah. I know how to break things.
Yes, you and Bill have been... Between the two of you is probably like 90% of my bug reports.
Snake this over here. This might be inefficient or suboptimal, but I just like tiling these.
If you like tiling them, I'm glad. It does look nice. They do go well together like that.
Can I? Surely I can fit one more. Grah! Oh, wait, I can move this whole damn thing over one. Okay, where do I want to go from here? There's a temptation to do it again here, but I would have to really refactor to make that work. Unless...
I will note, for when it comes time to do the math on how much armor to give the enemies, armor shearing does scale linearly, and each packet power is worth 5 points of shearing. So I think you could probably do well to spend a lot of the remaining space on like aura, chain lightning, and sniper.
Gotcha. Okay. So aura. Remind myself. Oh, I mean, I have it on the other one. Just look.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Aura.
Yeah, I don't think any of those 3... Actually, I think you could squeeze chain lightning right next to aura and save 1 point. And yeah, that sniper arrangement should work as well, if you have space for all of it in a sort of triangle.
Oh, move this down.
Keeping in mind, yeah.
So you said aura, sniper, and chain lightning?
I think so.
So if I do this...
I mean, Gatling probably wouldn't hurt if you could squeeze it in there, but maybe less important. Keeping in mind that there is an issue with...
Oh, wait, I'd have to scoot it down, yeah.
Yeah. Although... Yeah. Yeah, scoot it down. So it'll be so nice when you just copy paste it. I keep saying that. I just want you to imagine the features that the game will have in the future.
Yeah. Imagine when it's good.
Imagine if this game was good. Imagine the good version of this game instead of the bad one that you're playing right now.
I
think your chain lightning shape might be a little weird.
Yeah.
Actually, I think you could just move the whole chain lightning one to the left.
Yeah.
There you
Oh,
go.
but now this is too close to...
Oh yeah, that sniper I think needs to go down one as well. Keep in mind, emblems can be detected touching the emblem frame. It's simply the corner squares that need to be free.
Yes. So really, I should move this all back up.
Yeah. Well, I think you can use the bottom circuit. You'll need to bump up some bits, but I think you can squeeze it all in where it is. But also, unfortunately, I don't think that sniper detection is going to work.
Right, because it's
square bounding box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I don't need to be this precious about it. I have plenty of space up here.
Yes. Oh, and actually, unfortunately, that chain lightning isn't going to work either.
Right, yeah.
That's
why I had it over.
Yeah. You were right all along. You have bested the master. But regardless, you will be the first to know when I implement more sort of generous emblem shaping.
Yeah.
And I think you will appreciate it. Needs to be one wider because the Gatling is taking up the corner.
Right, yes.
Come on. Yeah!
Hey!
The gang's all here. Now this is a tower.
All right. So we've got
increasingly becoming clear the need for a little log to show the full effects of your most recent shots.
Yes.
Because now it's like, how much armor is this shearing? I have no idea.
So yeah, we've got our armor piercing, we've got our toxic, and then we've got our Gatling down here.
I think it's a good setup.
Yeah.
Just got to dial in the enemy stats, and I think you can get a very high score.
Yeah. Do we want to just run it and see what happens, or do you think I should make changes to that now?
I think it's pretty... I think you can run it, dial in the numbers, and then do a second run.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Also, I would save all your runes just in case something crashes, because you worked really hard. So each individual rune can be saved by having it in the rune editor and hitting Control S. And if you have the command window open from when you launch the game, it should show a bunch of text when you successfully save.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you'll want to do that for each individual rune. It doesn't save them all at once.
Save to file?
I should probably change that.
Is there a text file now?
Yes, it saves it to the original text file that it read it from. So when you go back and load it, you could close the game and load it again, and all the emblems you saved will still be there.
I see.
So
am I able to do that on all three?
Yes, you should do it on all three to save.
So I have to individually save these three, and...
Yes, I think I'm going to change that. But for now...
Sure.
Yep.
Okay, I have saved these three. They have appeared in the command line. That's all I need to know, right?
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
Cool.
That's all you need to know.
All right. Then... They're definitely... Oh, yeah, they're getting poisoned pretty quick.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
Their health's really low.
We did set the HP pretty low for the demonstration earlier.
Yes.
And the armor is definitely shearing.
Yeah. So we could probably jack up the health. At least a bit. And then jack up the armor.
Yes.
Yeah, you're still missing all of your armor by the time. Okay. It's I mean, they are still getting pretty close, but
yeah. I think I need to increase. Well, no, I think it's good. Awesome. This is what this game is meant to be.
Just sit back and watch the fruits of your labor.
Exactly. I feel like every, good. I like the sort of star icon that the aura attack makes.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything special for that. It's literally just 5 shots at once.
Right, yeah. They just so happen to be coming in at such a speed that there are 5 of them in the loop, roughly equidistant. Yeah, I don't think that I've gotten that any of them have gotten through yet.
Yeah. I mean, it should be fairly deterministic, especially
Right.
since the spawn time. I think it's in a good rhythm.
Mhm.
Definitely when one did get through.
Damn, I was tapped out.
Definitely when this run finishes, post a screenshot of this in the high scores channel.
Yeah, sure. Well, we'll have to start over because the beginning of this wave was low health.
Yes, there was some dialing in.
Yes. We're only coming up on like 30,000, but I mean, it's better than the 4,000 or whatever I got earlier.
Yeah. I think I need to add more stuff that's good against really big.
Period. Sorry. I need to add more stuff that's good. Period.
I need to add more stuff that's good against big enemies because I recently added a ton of AoE chain lightning effects.
Sure, yeah.
But anyway, that's probably your build.
All right, let me run it back. I do find it funny that when you run out of time, the time is listed as -1 minute 59.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that, but it doesn't really impact anything, so I got better stuff to worry about.
Got to start putting the good parts in after we figure out all the dog shit. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I'm always saying this.
Are there multiple maps?
Right now there's just one, but I now have the capability of making more.
Right. I was just seeing that. Was this on a? Were the high score posts currently in the channel from an earlier build where it was just a straight line?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. So this is a new path.
So, considering how often the game changes, having a high score doesn't necessarily mean much.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's fun.
What is the distinction between points and score?
Points is how much each enemy gives.
Got it.
Score is how much you've accumulated.
Yes. Understood.
Oh, yeah.
Get a little overview.
Yeah. Still not sure. Maybe I do want to have some kind of a little more interactivity. Also, I think it is nice.
Right.
But probably for the high score mode, when I do implement that, I may make the calculation time shorter than 3 minutes.
I think that I mean, I would assume that you're going to make enemies differ at some point.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, there could be a obviously this would be improved by you know, a pause that actually, you know, has logic to it and, you know, isn't just like halting the game logic. But you know, definitely being able to rekey things in the middle of the wave seems interesting.
Strong.
Or maybe
Yeah.
it should be maybe it should be that you have to just make a more robust build to begin with. I don't know.
Yeah, I think re-editing mid-wave is not really my intent. But because I want people to be able to fiddle with and figure out their builds mid-wave, I'm not going to stop you from doing it.
Sure.
42k, that's pretty good.
Oh, for my first shot.
Yeah, very nice. But in the final game, it might be like, you know, test wave just sort of goes continuously, and then you have a calculate score button, and then that takes a minute, or maybe it runs in fast motion or something. We'll figure that out. How late do you usually go here?
It depends. Depends on energy and what I'm doing, and you know, any number of things.
I would love to stay up super late and have you play a ton of this, maybe with the other 2 rune configurations.
Sure.
Which don't press the button yet, which you can access with the 1, 2, and 3 keys, but you need to save your runes before you switch between them. It will not reload from the active rune or reload from the file.
Did I not already do that?
You did do that. Just, in case you had made any edits.
Sure.
And in case anyone was playing along at home.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think I edited anything. So
yeah, they still have my dev build. You can see where I was testing the chain lightning.
Okay, so here's
honestly,
just
I think some of these are
tabs.
builds from when he was having a tech issue and he sent me a version to investigate.
Yeah.
So the 4th configuration is fairly simple. There's a lot of really straightforward ones. And then the 2nd configuration is sort of 2 overloaded runes.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I figured the first one's kind of balanced.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm thinking. I'm not sure. I'm thinking that I'm about done with this for now. I don't know if I want to pivot to something else or just call it a short stream at 2.5 hours. I mean, it's not that short. I always psych myself up about that as like, you know, I've only been going 2.5 hours. It's such a short stream. It's like 2.5 hours of your life has passed by.
2.5 hours. If a movie's 2.5 hours, say it's long as hell.
Right. But if I'm sitting here playing a video game and talking the entire time, then suddenly that's like,
Honestly, I'm glad we got this much time out of it. I would say this is a very successful stream.
2.5 hours is not a long movie.
Depends on the movie. If it's bad, 2.5 hours is monumental.
Fair. How long is the room?
Not a clue.
It's 1 hour 39. That seems about right. If a movie is bad, it feels like it goes on for 2 weeks regardless of runtime. True?
Sure.
I think I probably should go and have some food. So I think I probably will just call it here. Take the rest of the night to myself. But I thank you for coming on the stream.
Thank you for playing my video game.
Yes, of course. I will definitely be tuned in to builds in the future. See how this progresses.
I would hope that we can maybe get one stream in per major numbered release.
Sure.
So
yeah.
one for 0.0.3.
Sure.
Whenever that is. I would expect development time to slow down. I have a very busy June ahead.
Sure. Yeah.
But I'm taking a week off in July, and I might just game dev the whole dang time.
Gotcha. Do let me know. Like, I would be happy to, if I mean, this is something that you would be interested in me doing. If you would want me to do any like sort of art for the game or anything like that, like I would be happy to contribute some.
Oh, wonderful! I've got many extremely professional artists offering their help.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
The more the merrier.
Gotcha.
I am
extremely unprofessional, so I understand the hesitance.
But maybe. Anyway, it'll probably be a long time before it's anything other than programmer art.
Sure, yeah.
But I'll keep your offer in mind. Probably when it comes time to actually port it into a game engine, I'll get all my volunteer artists together and see what people are actually willing and able to do.
Sure, yeah.
And sort out reasonable requests to make of everyone. Certainly, I think something you'd be very good at would be like desktop icons or some of the non-main game programs that I want to put in the like fake operating system framing device.
Okay.
I don't know what those would be yet.
Sure.
I'm probably gonna have like a wacky calculator and a wacky notepad.
Gotcha.
But we'll see.
Who do I want to raid into tonight? I feel like nobody that I usually raid into is streaming. Are Thursdays usually this bad? Dev is streaming. Some web fishing. Oh, Fiasco's playing Return of the Obra Dinn.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
I do love Return of the Obra Dinn. Yeah, I'll send it over to Fiasco. But yeah, thank you all for being here. I appreciate the support as always. Do feel free to go and follow Zoe on her Blue Sky, which is in the pinned message right there. And then all of my socials can be found here at the card. That is my personal Blue Sky, my VODs channel, and my Discord, where you can suggest games, chat, do whatever. The things that you do in a Discord, you know, like you do.
As you do.
We will be back, God willing, on Tuesday. I don't know what we will be doing. Presumably we will be doing Blueprints or Disco Elysium, because those are our main floating things that happen on non-Wednesdays when we're not with bits. But we will see. I've been thinking that I might want to pump the brakes on Blueprints for now, because I don't know that the progression is the best for how I like to stream. But we'll figure it out. But yeah, for now, I thank y'all for coming, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Bye-bye.
And thank you for having me.
Yes, of course.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.